Hey, Mama.
What?
What are you doing?
We're getting Gary's truck ready.
Why are we getting Gary's truck ready, Gary?
New racing oil system I'm putting on it.
We got a guest at the shop here today. We got James. And remind us where you're from again in Arkansas? El Dorado, Arkansas. For those of you that follow 6.0's hardcore, he's Powerstroke Aggression. What else are you on other than Facebook?
That's about it right now.
He's on Facebook right now. So I'd been following him while he's coming up with this high flow or high pressure oil system that he's designed here, and been following on that. And then we kind of been talking, I guess, about a month back and forth on Facebook. And I said, man, I would really love to install one of your kits, get it out on the channel, and let everybody see what it's all about. So he made the 4-hour drive over here today, and we appreciate that. And we're going to put it on Gary's truck, which, Gary, I guess you're okay with that since we're doing this, right?
He doesn't have a choice.
Well, he doesn't have a choice now. So we're going to put James's kit on here and show y'all what it's all about today. And he's a very knowledgeable guy, and he loves 6.0s just as much or more than we do here. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting. So we're going to get into taking this apart. So what we have to do here, we got to pull the turbo, pull the degas bottle, the FICM, and both valve covers. So if y'all hadn't seen us do that before, or you don't think you can tackle that, or don't know what we're doing, then this may not be for you. But that's kind of what we're going to get at. So I'm not going to give you a step-by-step on taking those components off. But when we get down to the nitty-gritty, we're going to pick up and show what all we're doing and why we're doing it here.
373s and 6s. But as much as we're working on here, I'll have one eventually.
All right, I need the 10. Gary, when did we put this kit on your truck?
Bulletproof diesel?
Yeah. That's been like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
We need to put a VGT plug on here. Well, we got quiet all of a sudden. Somebody say something.
When's the lunchtime?
We knew that was coming. So, James, how long have you been at this whole kit thing?
About 6 months on this one. The other one,
Were you just laying in bed one night and just like you had an epiphany?
yeah, I'm all time thinking. Like I wake up in the middle of the night and just start thinking.
Well, I'll tell you what had run across my mind, which you improved on what the thought that I had to begin with. I was like, man, I'd love to have the 05 to 07 pump, but run the 03 to 04 rails and all that, because I think that's a more reliable system to me. Which I know you didn't, earlier you were saying you didn't like it as much, but you have less trouble out of everything under the valve covers on a 03, 04.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah. But you know, when you're that far into it,
Well, what you come up with is better.
well, there's been a lot of people ask about all the three different systems, and I'm gonna try to fix them up a solution for all three of them.
I think the worst out of all of them is the hybrid one, the beer can pump with the wavy rails and the standpipe. It's got the most problems, I would say.
Yeah, that's always been my experience too. This is going to be a little flange fitting with the two bolts. It's going to have an O-ring seal on the top. Or to save people money, where they can put this, they can run hard external line or soft external lines, and yet still run the same pump. Because that pump's that's at least $1,000.
Yeah, if you go with diesel site, it's about $1,200. What do you think of the diesel site pump?
I think there's better ones out there.
Well, I mean, tell me, it's fun sharing opinions.
I really do. I think there's better ones out there.
You know, Atlas makes a stage 2 pump now too.
That's what's in that maroon truck.
So that's the one you would pick?
That's a good pump for the money.
I think that's what I'm gonna put in that.
I love the way
04 back
that
there.
thing cranks up.
I could have already had turbo off. This bolt was gonna come out.
It when that truck, I don't have another one that does this truck because it's the only one with the Atlas 2 pump in it.
I didn't even notice it was a single cab till you said something.
Yeah.
I walked right past
Yeah,
it. I didn't
It's
pay
that
no
color
attention.
red that I like a lot too, or maroon, whatever you want to call it.
This is a little truck. When that thing starts, I always, the trucks that have stage 2 pumps or bigger injectors, as soon as they crank, you kind of hear them it's more like
Trying to level it out.
bouncing off the injectors. Anytime you're altering oil flow like that, and that's what that truck does. But it's a good thing.
I know one thing I like about the O3s, and you'll probably agree with this, they idle just a touch lower.
Yeah.
And I like how they sound idling to me.
Yeah, when I get tunes built, I request lower idles.
I like it.
I don't like that higher idle stuff.
You get your tunes through blessed.
No.
No. Answers that one. Well, we ain't got to ask that question.
Oh, it's fun. I like hearing the difference in opinion.
I'm gonna go get some of this out and set it
All
on
right.
the table over here.
Well, that table is yours. You do whatever you want on it. Gary
You need
usually
some help getting some stuff out, let me know.
Gary likes to have it cleaned off when all the girls come over. They can get up on the table and dance. Isn't that right, Gary?
Gary likes to keep it cleaned off for lunch. For lunch. Get it right for lunch.
You know, I had forgot you got a Turbo Time USA Turbo, Gary.
Turbo time.
Turbo time. It's turbo time.
If anybody's wondering, Gary's email is Turbo Spooling. That's his email. Is it still that?
Yeah.
Turbo spooling
Turbo Spooling.
at hotdaddy.com.
All that is an option, people.
On the left.
This is what's not fun with this kit.
Yeah, that's
Every single time.
hose.
Oh, that's what it looks like.
And let me tell you what makes it even worse. Add that hose with an O-Dogs intake though.
Yeah, imagine.
Because I just did that on that truck out back. It's the VGT solenoid.
You're hanging on the back side on the hose right there.
Yep.
You want to raise this up some? Since you done broke my thing.
I didn't break it. It's just popped loose.
Take it off. Take it
What we're
off.
gonna do is take it off. Will you give me a second? We'll take it off.
Or not.
Now it's broke.
I'll fix it. I'll probably have one.
Hey, super glue works wonders. I'm just kidding, Gary.
Left lane diesel up pipes, Gary. Looking good.
Gary's got a race trophy. Here you go. On the left.
I'm gonna need my big croissant wrench next. I had somebody comment on the video the other day. You need to quit that dipping. That's nasty. On a video.
Is that my wife?
You do.
Okay. Well, it wasn't Brooke. It was somebody I do not know. I'd like that Powerstroke long 3/8 with the blue handle.
You'd like it, but you'll get what I get. About that.
We got a paper towel here. I'm gonna jab this
How about
hole
this
up. Gary's got a lot of trash
I
up
got
here.
all of them over.
His valley is very dry, but he's got a lot of trash up here because Gary gets dirty. Hey, you know what I was just wondering? I wonder what Shania Twain's doing right now. Are you wondering the same thing? You wondering what Shania Twain's doing right now?
No, I don't.
Okay. That's what you usually have playing in your truck on the radio.
Don't impress me much.
It don't impress me much.
So your Brad's kit?
Boy, look how clean that screen is. Would you look at that, folks? Look at that. Should I say what Murphy Diesel said? It's gonna get Western. It's about to get Western. Hey, if you were wondering, Gary, this fuel filter cap is really hot over here.
Is it?
Yeah, I figured you were wondering.
You need anything,
I thought about it.
box right there.
Hey, I forgot you got a heat shield on here too. I get to fight with that. So on the two little 8s that go in the high pressure oil pump cover.
I tend to like to complain about my truck every time.
I just said I forgot you had that.
That's complaining.
Here, it's okay.
That'd be a good time to ditch it though. James, you got a topside creeper?
Yeah.
Lifesaver, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't need a lift, but I can't make it without that thing.
So you don't use a lift much?
Yeah, I do, but I use this way more.
This is a game changer. It's an absolute game changer.
I couldn't make it without topside. Hey, your vapes outlawed up here like they are in Arkansas. Y'all can still get them, can't you?
I don't know.
Vapes?
Vapes.
Yeah, they sell
What
them
do you
here.
think you said, Gary? Grapes?
Pacifier.
Yeah.
They sell them here.
Did you used to smoke?
Yeah.
Used to dip too?
Everything's more expensive in Arkansas. Dip and everything.
Arkansas.
Beer's cheaper in Arkansas.
Beer's cheaper because it ain't got as much alcohol content in it.
That bush beer I buy at the lake ain't no different. I promise it ain't. No, it ain't.
How many you drink at the lake?
Plenty, I promise.
Per day.
Do you get messed up?
Yeah.
No. I don't ever get messed up.
I guarantee you Bush Beer ain't making no different beer to send to Arkansas. That's the dumbest thing I've heard.
Made in Arkansas. You know they do shit different in Arkansas.
I'm gonna find me a dirty shirt. I look like I ain't never done nothing my whole life with this thing on.
Well, I can go fetch you one of these.
I think I got one out there. Check that ratchet out.
Yeah. You need one of those.
It's gearless. Or one of y'all feel it. Those things are neat.
Was it about
What is it?
162?
It's just a gear. It's a gearless 1/4-inch ratchet. That
Well, who
I think,
makes it?
I think that one's a Titan. Osa Tools was making them, but I can't find them no more. I use them for I use them for everything, but they do wonders like around that thick. Unless they use your 2 fingers just to.
I've got a little snap-on one it's probably that much longer. It's a good little ratchet too, but it ain't like that as far as the gears. That's nice.
No, he complained about the gears and the snap-on.
Well, it not even get off the top of the creeper.
There it is.
It sticks all the way down in there. It's just like a 6,000-pound plug or something. All these goes in. The rest of it just gets taken out.
If you want to, you can go hit that with oven cleaner, Gary, and have it ready to be put back on. Is that what you use, James, on aluminum stuff?
I use all kinds of stuff.
That oven cleaner is what I found is takes the least amount of time.
Well, yeah.
You lost Drew's tools.
Just until he lost one of your nuts. So now how you gonna feel about that?
Uh,
I lost the nut, Gary.
You lost one of my bolts?
Lost one of the bolts, Gary.
What are you gonna say, Gary? Fired? You gonna fire him? You wanna hear a funny story? Let's tell a funny story while we're sitting here and I'm undoing this bolt.
I thought I had the magnet
I'll
on.
wait till Bubba quits yelling.
I know, we can't even talk around
He's so
here.
boisterous.
Talks too loud.
So we're working on Gary's 98 Cummins. And what were we doing? We were doing something. Oh, I was wiring your gauges up. We're
Yeah.
putting gauges in his truck at the station, wiring it up. Gary went inside to take a dump or something.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary.
And Matt Henry said, hey, let's wire Gary's blinker up to his horn. So we wired his blinker up to his horn. Next morning, 7 o'clock, he goes to get off, and then I get a phone call. Says, hey, turn my blinker on, and my horn's honking every time I turn my blinker on. I tell you, the next thing would probably be great is get one of them baking pans. For James, I'll set this pump on it, and then it won't make a big mess. We need a baking pan. We're gonna
Make some
bake 'em.
brownies for lunch.
Yeah, we're gonna
You
bake 'em.
like brownies, Gary? I love brownies.
You got it? She's kind of heavy.
She's kind of heavy. What?
I was gonna say, I bet I can get the driver's side valve cover off before Bubba gets his on.
Well, you ain't got nothing over your valve cover. You got a thick one.
Not any thicker. Bulletproof piece. Gary, is this a 54 volt Thickum? Yeah. I'd like to hear James's opinion on that. I'm not gonna say I dislike them. I think it's unnecessary. Is that what you think too? I need another little yellow box, and I need a rag to cover up this big hole while we're handling bolts all around here, because that would really poo-poo the day. Hey, we got a teachable moment here. How do you unplug a Thickum?
Put your hands on both sides, push down. That way it's easier. It's easier on me. I can't do it like that. That's not
Well,
it's easier
the main
on me.
thing I was getting after is make sure you push the tangs and don't break them, because
It's easier for me to get my hands on both sides and push in and pull down.
you're gonna create a whole lot of
And
problems for yourself
I
when
can
you
use
break
the
them.
top of my hand as a prying point.
And I don't know
Here, let me
what
see it when you pull it out and I go put it on the part.
I don't know what stupid people do, but these are so often broke from people being stupid.
Come here.
That was heavy. Gary does have his crankcase vented to the atmosphere.
Oh, you Let me see them.
I'm sure there's someone will be a naysayer about that.
Hey man, what's up, hop along? Say hi, Diesel.
It's old dog in it.
He's 13.
Yeah. Trip dog.
I sure hope y'all got a bait school here somewhere else. I've been having bootleg these down there with all that. So, this thing tastes like a rotten coconut.
Hey, we go down to Texarkana and stop at the first store once you get inside the county line. Like, man, this is some bullshit right here.
You know what I think of every time I hear somebody say Texarkana? What? My favorite movie.
Maybe in the band.
Yeah, he knew where I was going with that. Because you got to say it like he does. Texarkana.
Where you said that, I wish they'd have cremated some of this.
Yeah.
Kicking that Mr. Bandit's ass around the moon by now.
What's so sad is I love watching movies at the fire station all the time. You get these new younger guys there or whatever, and be like, hey, we're going to smoke in the bay tonight. They watch that movie, and they wouldn't laugh one single time. Bubba's strong. He used to be a power lifter.
He was just telling me he was too weak to push that trailer in.
Don't let him fool you. Well, the story has it, when they would be setting the pole, they wouldn't even use the crane. They just used Bubba. They go over and just pick the pole up.
I hope them standpipes cooperate.
Oh, I got a tool for that.
Because it's so easy when you just pop them out and then roll right back together with 4 plugs in. But if if you have to take your oil rail off, you just added.
We got a tool from a guy, Russia.
He made it and sent it to me. He watched my YouTube channel in Russia.
Huh. Wow.
And he made that tool.
Cool.
I just did a no-no.
What'd you do?
I got my ratchet pinned up against the firewall now. On loosen.
That's good in there.
I use a ratchet wrench down there on those two that are hard to get to.
Well, if it's a straight one, you gotta get home. Some of them are out of it.
But I'm gonna need I need a 10. Short. Yeah, first one up there.
I ain't never been able to break down with 3/8 ratchet. I always grab the 1/2 inch.
These should all be, we changed all these.
Now there's 4 new ones over there.
You like the diesel cycle?
I think they're the best on the market
Deep.
for
Give
just
me a 1/4 inch 10.
a common
Deep.
fix.
All right, am I pulling this rail, James?
No,
Okay,
you're done in there.
okay.
Well, I lied. You gotta take that plug out. But that's 6 millimeter. 6 millimeter.
6 millimeter Allen.
And that's it. Then you're done.
Okay. I've never taken that plug out.
Since the standpipe came out cooperatively, now if it didn't, then of course, it's
He was really wanting to use the
All right,
Russian
so
tool.
fun topic. I think, you hear so many people about, oh, I just put these standpipes in and I blew an O-ring and I'm doing it like every month. I think there's a whole lot of installer error. Do you agree with that?
I do, and it's a whole lot of oil temperature error too.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people too. They'll say, hey, listen, I think I need to make an appointment with you and get an oil cooler done. I say, well, what are your temps running? Oh, I'm hitting like 225, 230, and I'll be like, you need to stop driving it. Well, it's driving fine. I said, yeah, it's going to drive fine until you bake every single O-ring in that motor.
Yeah, I don't care what the O-rings are made out of. They're not going to stand up to that. They're going to turn to burnt hot dog oxide.
And usually their argument is, it's only 30 degrees hotter. I said that 30 degrees makes a big difference.
That's the tipping point.
So just to be clear in the video, all we've done on this side is remove the valve cover, remove the standpipe dummy plug, and we're taking this plug out in the back right here, which is oriented exactly where the ICP sensor is on the passenger side. And we're done on this side.
Only thing that's left over here is the tip side of the box.
I need a
and I
12.
can't turn my
I need a
hands.
12 millimeter ratchet wrench is what I need.
12 mil ratchet wrench. G money.
And I'll get them out.
Yeah, see
Yeah,
how
we
there's
go this way.
a lot more taper in them. Yeah, those are just a different company.
All right.
Didn't even have to use the special tool. All right, so now we're done up here.
That's it.
The rails don't have to come off, nothing like that.
No, because you did good and got that the whole standpipe in one lick.
And I'll wipe all this down.
You can't work on them like a 350 Chevrolet. I mean, they just.
We don't work on
You
Chevrolet.
just can't do that. If you take something loose on a 6.0 that's got an O-ring or a seal on it, you better be putting new on it when you go back together with it. That's just the way it is.
And you know what's hard to explain that to? the customer
Yeah.
because they don't want to spend any more money than they want to, but you don't want to send them down the road with a problem either.
I don't know how many times I see people with, oh, my O-rings look good, they ain't bloated, but they're squashed, they're distorted, there's no way they're gonna seal right.
You're already there.
Yeah,
You're already
it's like
there.
that oil cooler. People are pulling the intake off and working on the oil cooler's right under your nose. It's just right there.
Yeah.
10 bolts.
All right, James is gonna tell us about all his magic here now. He's worried about being long-winded. I told him y'all wouldn't mind, so.
Yeah, I sure get that way. Really about the best way to put these in a vise is upside down, which I guess since it's pouring oil everywhere, it'd be a good thing. You're gonna have to remove your SCT fitting when you pull it. It's either gonna have one of the two, you know, the updated one or the old crunchy one that's gonna blow up eventually on you. And this is about the best way to do it. Because this cast will bust if you get too rough with it. And that's a stout place right there. Or a lot stouter than down here on these feet. Be a plug.
He's gonna show you the plug right here.
It's got the O-ring on it and ready to
Or show it up. You can put it right. Yeah, there you go. Right there. There you go. There's a plug. Goes in there.
This housing has a recess cut in it that O-ring will seat in.
So this is inside where your STC is. You can see that groove right there.
That's all the flow that's coming into that STC port.
See if I can get a little. There we go. Now you can see it.
Yes, it's small. I think they casted that just for some strength for the fitting that they designed to go to the branch tube. And you might look at that too. That kind of gives a better idea.
That's the diameter
that's
of
the
what your
diameter.
oil flow is coming in there. Because we were talking about this earlier, and the reason he's telling you about this is so many people that want to be naysayers about what we're doing here is saying that, oh, you're cutting down the oil flow so much, thinking that that's the size of what you're getting. And that what I just showed you inside of there is what's flowing into here. And he's explaining that this is built as rugged as it is. Well, basically that's why it's that way, to be rugged.
Yeah.
For the threads to be as strong as they are on that portion of the pump.
Yeah, that's all the oil flow you've got coming into that diameter that you just showed.
So now you're gonna put this plug in there.
This is just simply plugged. You're gonna tighten it to 70 foot-pounds. And you gotta take and then you have to break your top plug. Or this can be broke on the truck. It's probably a better.
And you ain't having to use a vise.
Yeah, well, there's just no good way to catch those things. But when it's on the truck, it's just a lot easier to get to.
All right, so me and James just came up with the best way to do what we're getting ready to do, which this plug has to come out next. The pump only had to come off of the truck to put that plug in that we just showed. So what we're going to do is put it back in the truck just like a normal install, torque it down, new O-ring on the bottom, all that. And then we're not worried about dropping it falling out of the vise, twisting, cracking something on the pump, any of that because of that. And it'd be best to remove that plug on the truck. So that's what we're going to do. So the pump is now ready to go back on the truck and reseal our IPR and all that and put it in after we get done doing this portion right here. We got our surface all cleaned up for where our gasket's going to go for the cover. James has got up there and wiped and cleaned where our O-ring is going in there. We got a new O-ring, which is in his hand right there. Pump is going in. I'm gonna get him his bolts because I don't have those ready.
Just couldn't stand it, could you, James? Get in there.
I was telling old Mr. James earlier, I said, I hate beating people that I like so much that don't live right by me.
Right.
He's another one of them people that, man, if our shops were right side by side, I bet we could get a whole lot done, probably.
Yeah, we could.
You're gonna get them all snug down, and then we're gonna put the torque wrench on there, and they're gonna go to 18 foot-pounds. And it ain't fun torquing these when you ain't taking everything off right here. But we are torquing them.
Yep. What was this, 18 foot-pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Is your elbow torque wrench feel good with it too? The one built into your elbow or wrist or whichever.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right,
That's-
pump is torqued down.
And that's it as far as a high pressure oil pump is concerned. The branch tube just stays wide open like
I got to
it is.
get you some RTV for them spots. I didn't think about that. While James is putting that RTV right there in between the rear cover and the block, he was just saying he gets a lot of questions about people asking, well, what do you do about the branch tubes that you're just leaving open back there? Well, they really don't matter. They're just an extra fixture sitting in the motor now that serves no purpose, that's bolted in everywhere it's at anyways, so it's not going to affect anything. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just there until you pull the motor out someday, and if you stay with this system, take it out then if you wanted to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just a landmark.
Yeah, it's just there for looks now. All right, James got the cover right here, and I grease the cover. Gary cleaned that up with the Scotch-Brite where it goes around the pump, because I like to get all that funk off of it. And then I grease the O-ring at the top of the pump also, because the last thing I want to do is go to beating and pushing on that cover any harder than I have to get it to slide over the pump.
Yeah, grease is your best friend.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've had naysayers question me on that, on injectors and everything else, greasing stuff up. But you know what? I don't have trouble with none of the stuff I grease up.
Now, if you don't grease, especially anything that's rubber, anything that's O-ring, it tends to pinch it. Aside from the fact it makes it difficult to get off.
My favorite thing is the people that question putting grease on there, and they're like, well, you know, that's a petroleum-based grease. It's going to be hard on the O-rings. I said, well, what do you think all the O-rings are exposed to?
Well, yeah, that's right.
All right, everybody, James is fixing to torque down these high pressure oil cover bolts for us.
Gary gives you an intro like you're getting ready to do some fantastic backflip off top of that top side. James, get ready to...
In the minute he's gonna roll over and swim like a mermaid.
Then he might do a couple backflips after he's done.
So how'd you come up with the name for your business?
That's an interesting question. Most everything I do is kind of performance related, and I'm pretty fast, and I don't know. It just sounded good, I guess.
I guess you figured out how I come up with mine already, didn't you?
Yeah, I have.
Because I was and still am a paramedic.
Paramedic and fire department stuff, yeah. All right, I'm breaking this top plug out. This is kind of the best way to do this. You can wait till you get your pump back in, because it just kind of holds it for you.
As you can see, he had to put a little bit of...
Yeah, it's dragging me along, isn't it? They're usually pretty snug.
That's the same plug we showed y'all on the table just a little bit ago, saying that we're going to take off on the truck. You see it, Gary?
Well,
Use my left arm. I'm ambidextrous. This plug right here on top of the pump.
here we go.
It just comes out and it stays out.
All right, Mr. James is putting in dummy plugs
And both of them.
in both of them. And everybody all at once, what are these torque to? 69 foot-pounds.
69.
So James, what you need to do right after this is tell them what you were explaining about the O-rings and the standpipe, about the ones that blow when we get done doing this part right here. I just thought of that while you're putting these in.
Yeah, I may have to go over to the table.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to have somebody up here with a little more ass to work it.
So James is going to explain, what's the word I'm looking for here? Kind of What happens with
Why
your
the-
O-rings?
Why the
Kind of
standpipe
fails.
tends to fail here and here so much. That we don't have a branch tube out here anywhere in front of us, but basically it's reverse flowing or whatever, for lack of a better word. That's what it's doing. But this is sitting in a branch tube, and it's female over male, and oil pressure is coming into it from this angle. So all the pressure is
It's sitting on that O-ring.
it's coming in, slamming up against the face of the standpipe, and then projecting out across that O-ring. It just pushes it out, just makes it move, and it blows it out. And the same thing for the middle one. It's doing the same thing. If it was flowing this way, if International would design them to flow this way, there wouldn't be near as much trouble with any of it. Of course, that wouldn't work, obviously, but I just mean flow needs to go this way and not this way.
And you probably wouldn't see none of the kind of failures like we see then.
Not as many anyway. I mean, temperature's always going to get anything that's soft like this, but it'd sure be a lot less of it. So the dummy plugs, I think they just tend to blow out less because they're situated in the oil rail as such,
And they don't have direct oil flow right against them like the standpipe. They're not
Well,
carrying oil, I guess
these
is what
are
I'm saying.
already at a disadvantage, even if they were flowing in the right direction, because oil is flowing through them where they're not from a dummy plug. But where these have a distinct advantage because the oil is coming in from the center and it's pushing out against these O-rings. And these well, this one is of course threaded plugged here, so that's never going to be an issue. But this one at the bottom, it would sit in the engine like this. This one is tapered, so actually the more oil pressure pushing against the lower O-ring here is sealing it tighter. In its own kind of way, but I mean, still a failure point and not a good thing. But it's just why they tend to blow less, is all.
And he brought this oil rail just to show this is something else he's working on. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
It was just an option. I was thinking.
He's really been thinking through all the options that he could possibly think of with all this.
Yeah, some people have asked me about doing this, and it went pretty well. This top one is just a special plug with an O-ring that just easily screws right into the same thread that the dummy plug or standpipe would screw into. If you want to do it without dummy plugs, and some people do. The bottom one, though, I have to mill. It has to be milled. This edge is not true and correct.
You can see that edge has been milled right there.
And I probably took I think it was about 3/8 of an inch, maybe 7/16 of that off before it got flat enough, not on the outside, but on the inside, just to get that funny taper that it had, to get it straight enough to tap.
He was talking to us earlier about how untrue all of this is right here.
Yeah, just casting defects. And I think from year to year, month to month, they're a little bit different. And it's a casted piece. All casted pieces are like that. And it's just a 5,000-pound plug that just tightens up in there. So if if you're interested in something like that, I can do it. I just have to have your oil rails to do it.
Yeah, I do like that though.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
People have been asking about the check valves that are in the standpipes. They think that it, for some reason, that it has something to do with cold starts or just any hot start and cold start, doesn't matter. It does not. These were designed, the check valves are in here only for injector pulsation. They're to dampen injector pulsation. They have nothing to do with overnight starting or hot starting or cold starting. The truck starts fine. Has nothing to do with it. It's just for pulsation dampening only, in case you wondered. If you break a 04 standpipe loose, the good ones, the ones that have the ones that don't blow the middle O-ring, that actually thread together, if you break those loose, most people know what I'm talking about. They were in early 04, probably all of 04. you will see there's a O-ring and a spring, and the check valve is below it. It's at the check valve's at the bottom of the standpipe on those, and there's a little pinhole in it. So there's no way that overnight that would hold anything anyway with a pinhole through it. It's just to cure a little bit of injector pulsation. So that's all it's there for. It's not for starting issues at all. The truck will start fine.
Hey James, what are you doing?
Putting these valve cover bolts in.
Putting valve cover bolts in. What kind of valve cover are you using on this side now?
You got to put a passenger side one on it.
Y'all will see why in a little bit, don't worry. But I was just showing y'all what was going on. Bubba's doing the passenger side over there.
Yeah, it takes two passenger side ones to make it work, to have access to your oil rail back there with the dog hair on. You get that off.
You got a hair on there? I bet it's Gary's. There's a hair up here in his way. You getting hair all over the parts?
Yeah.
I know what it's from. Only hair you got long enough for that is your mustache.
Yeah, longer than the hair on my head.
Hey, when we get done at the end of the day, James, we don't use a broom. We just hold Gary's legs and push him across the floor. That's what we do. We sweep the floor with his mustache. James, what are you doing now?
Look at these hydraulic fittings up by hand anyway.
Look at them nice fittings. Look at them. He's just getting them all in there by hand right now. What you doing, James?
Just going back around and checking all of these hydraulic fittings. You sure don't want to leave any of these loose, because you'd be mad if you had to take the turbo back off because you left something loose. And it's just easier just to go over them 2 or 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It doesn't matter, just to make sure you got all of them. And they need to be snugged up pretty good. I mean, they're full-grown hydraulic fittings, so they can take a lot.
It looks real nice, James.
It does. It's pretty. It's one thing nobody can argue. I don't think they're pretty. I sure like JIC fittings. They're mighty friendly.
Bubba, you dated a girl once. Her name was JIC, wasn't it?
Yep.
See, there's one there. It wasn't quite tight to my liking. I'm getting a little more on it, just to be sure. This fitting right here, it's got to use a bonded washer. This seal will not work on the ICP. The factory seal will not work on
It was a weird name.
ICP. So you just need to just get it off and throw it away. And then you're going to take your bonded washer and slide it over your ICP sensor. And you're going to go right into this fitting. And then it'll hold that then. It's a really high pressure washer. And you're just going to bump it up a little bit and do it the right way and hold a little bit of backup on it. That's about all it is to it on that.
Just look at that. And look how straight that line's running with the valve cover and everything. It's almost like God put it there.
Pretty.
What do you think?
I like it.
He told Daryl to quit crowing out there. Well, would you look at that? I mean, James has just outdone himself. I'm very pleased with it. Looks real nice. Real nice bends and everything. And as you can see, there is room. Trying to get you a shot between the intake and the pipe there. He's worked real hard at getting all this just perfect. And we've done a lot of talking. He's spent a whole lot of time sourcing all the right fittings and quality USA fittings and all that with it. But I wanted to get y'all a good shot before this starts getting covered up with turbo and all that fun stuff. So now it's all the self-explanatory stuff. Pedestal goes back in, turbo goes back in, and we're pretty much there after we throw the fickum on. Since you're running a passenger side valve cover over here on the driver's side now, James has come up with this CCV using this low profile cap here and these nice brass fittings, and then he's got another fitting that's going to go into your air intake to route your CCV that way. So you still have a CCV. So I guess we'll show this again when we work on putting that in the intake, or is that what you're doing now?
It threads right into the factory
Yeah.
CCV port.
Threads right in there, it's nice and tight,
And then into the hose.
and then into the hose there. Now, do we need to trim that hose, or is that to length?
What? No, you trim it after you get to that.
After- when we get to that
yeah,
part.
That's pretty much the last thing.
All right, so now we're gonna put our ficum on there and get a turbo on and get ready to crank this thing up. What time is it, Gary?
Turbo time.
Yes, sir.
You took me to a really weird.
Well, I handed it to you the way you handed it to me. Hang on.
I know.
I'm trying to
Help me, Tom Cruise.
help
me, Oprah Winfrey. Gosh, that stupid hose, man. And we're not talking about James hose. We're talking about bulletproof diesel.
There we go.
I'm trying to get it over something.
Yeah, this hose. Hey, you want to get that clamp on there first? Or you want to
No,
wait?
it's on the pipe. Oh, I see my problem. Hang on. Go to your home. I need a flashlight.
Let me go get it.
They could have designed that a little better too.
Well, if they hired us to design stuff, we'd be set. You wouldn't be coming up with this kind of shit then. Well, you might be. I'm good over here. Give her a pull.
Everything good?
Yeah, give her a whirl. Look at there, just like that. I mean,
Need the charge air pipe.
all right.
On the chair.
Here,
in the
control
back.
valve is plugged back.
Straight
in.
back. Yep.
I need a Degas bottle. Damn it, the clamp's on here wrong. Who did that?
Bubba.
I just stuck it on there like
Bubba.
the other one.
Busting my ass to get it on there.
I just put it on there like the other one. Kiss my ass. Where's the 11 at? I need to back off on this song. I don't know how I got it off earlier. Do you need to come that way?
Leave it be.
$11 on the long extension. You the man, Parker. Wrong way.
Don't tighten nothing up yet.
I know it. I gotta back off on this so I can get it on.
There we go. How'd y'all get this shit off? Because these clamps are too tight to even think about sliding over.
Because I'm a bad mother.
No shit.
Will you quit moving my boot?
I ain't touching nothing.
Are you ready?
Who? Who are you talking to?
You make it thing down.
Man, that thing right there don't
Take
go
it
fast.
down.
Yeah.
I wish I had a recording going all day so I could catch every one of these, because I promise you I'd keep up with all of them.
Make that thing downshift.
I got hang down, shoot, I'll take the crap.
You ain't around me, Lord. You use some strange stuff.
Hey, I like it. Hey, that battery is 7/16. You ready to put the battery cables on?
I mean, you can. I need a degas bottle is what I need. Where's the clamp for it?
Yeah, I put it on down on there. Well, no, I put it over here on.
I say we go and put the damn thing all the way together so we can just sit here and just smile.
What you got?
Hey, I would like a can of brake cleaner. I'll say that. I want to spray Gary's Valley out right here a little bit. Clean it up just a touch for him. Try to treat Gary right. Gary usually treats me right, so at least I can do for him. Isn't that right, Gary?
That's right.
All right, I wanted to show James's CCV. So that's looking inside the air intake. You can see the brass fitting that threads right into the rubber there. You can see the hose routes. Goes right underneath the ficum bracket. I don't know if I can show you or not. You can see how it runs back there to that cap I showed y'all earlier right there. Nice and clean. That looks so much better than the factory setup. And you don't even hardly even know it's there. I like it. All right, James is priming our oil system up. We got the Fickum relay pulled, so we're not trying to start nothing over, which you can also do it just with the little jumper wire there. But he pulled the Fickum relay. We're gonna get it all primed up till we got low pressure oil on the dash. And then we'll put it in there and fire her up, let her get all the air out the system. All right, James, get ready to crank it. It's gonna run just a touch rough because it does have air in the system. You gotta let it just sit here and idle. And the real thing is after you do that a little bit, you gotta go drive the snot out of it and get all the air out of it. So all Gary's got to do now, he just got to go drive it. And that's about all you see. The most you see of the whole thing, honestly, is where the T is for the ICP sensor here. And you can get a glimpse of that line back there, and that's really all you see about it, unless you look back there. You can see that line right back there in the back. And that's it. Don't even know it's there hardly. So Gary's got to drive and get the air out of the system and not worry about standpipes anymore. Be done with that. And this actually supplies more pressure than the factory setup. It cranks up faster and everything else with this. So, but y'all know this truck ain't going nowhere. You're gonna see it here at the shop, so you're gonna get to see the long-term results of this because it's Gary's truck. That's why we want to do it on Gary's truck. We want Gary to be an experiment. What do you think about it, Gary?
Great.
Looks great. It does look great. I like it. It's a shame that you can't see more of it. It's just kind of like doing the BPD oil cooler. It sure is pretty, but it's buried down there in that intake. But yeah, Gary's gonna drive it, and we're gonna give y'all an update on this also after it's been used here for a while and let y'all know, because James put in a lot of hard work on this, and I'm real happy with it. Listen to James' nice little 9-blade turbo we got out there. Sounds real nice. So James insisted on driving it. He wants to stand behind his work. He said, let's go drive it. He said, I really don't want to go nowhere without driving it. I said, all right. So that's what we're doing. You'll make a Ronnie. Make a right. Guys, so we appreciate James coming down here today and showing us his product and putting it on Gary's truck and letting Gary be a test pilot for this on a truck here. He's already installed it on another truck before, but I wanted to kind of debut it on YouTube on the channel here. We just went and drove the truck. It's driving great. Gary's just got to drive a little more, get the air out of the system. And we're super happy with that. James, what do people need to do if they want to get in touch with you about this?
You can just message me on my personal messenger, James Sinclair, or you can message me at Powerstroke Aggression, either one.
If this is something that interests you, get in touch with this man right here. I'm sure we're going to be installing more of this here at the shop. I'm glad we built a relationship up here with Dave. We had a good time working on the truck. He really knows his 6.0 stuff, and he's in love with them just like we are here. So this Automatic Garage signing out. We appreciate y'all watching. Y'all like, subscribe, comment. Check us out at Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok also. This Automatic Garage signing out.
We'll holler at you later.
Peace.
James, we appreciate it, buddy. We'll holler at you.